Howdy, folks. Rebecca Jolly here from Jolly Alchemy to do another neutrino forecast for the 3rd of August, 2025. It's Sunday. So, today we are exploring the 5th line theme of this retreat, refinement, 4 ways grouping that starts with 33 in the sun. And so we have 33 and 19 in line 5. Now, line 5 of any hexagram is expressing the highest form of the hexagram still being acted upon, right? Because once we get to the 6th line, that's been incorporated into the body, and the person is just being it without actually thinking about it anymore. So you could say this is the last day of our mission in this part of the year to think about the subject of retreat and refinement in a 5th line theme. So the 5th line theme has to do with practicality and teaching it to others and, really disseminating it throughout the world, giving it out, showing it, helping others with it, that sort of thing. So 33 line 5 is timing, to keep one's intention secret, appropriate timing. And we saw that recently. That must have been in Mercury that went through. Yeah, it was. It was Mercury on the 28th of July. And then 19.5 is sacrifice, making sacrifices for the benefit of the community. So that's our mission for the day, looking at those issues and thinking, okay, how's that relevant to me? What am I feeling about that? What am I seeing about that? What can I learn about that? And in that vein, today's song is Man in the Mirror, written originally by Michael Jackson, one of our most famous observers. And the version that really spoke to me for today was by Boyce Avenue. Some of the best songs in the world. It's interesting. I guess you can gauge the success of your song by how many people copy it. And this is another one of those ones like, what was the one? The Sound of Silence that we heard yesterday that has been copied and repeated by so many other people, which is a lovely testament. So this one is by Boyce Avenue that I thought really was catching the feeling of it the best. Although there's a bunch of versions out there if you want to listen to more than one. Our moon begins our people energies in 34.1. That is intimidation, to display power as a response to frustration. And the last time this came around in the transits, I told the story about that guy that I saw when I was on walkabout at the library, scaring off the homeless people with his show of force intimidation. And I really felt the 34.1 in that guy. Of course, I couldn't go see his chart, but I definitely felt that energy in him that day. Our Mercury, which is still in retrograde, is 31.6. So we are going to be feeling people acting a little wonky around that because they're accessing more of a right brain energy than a left brain energy in the world today. And so that is walking the talk. Leadership whose actions match the words. We also had that recently from the 29th of July. This time, though, it has a shadow, so it has that side, so it has a, okay, here's a way to explain it. When we have a line and a gate being defined, it's possible for us to feel the entire line, all aspects of the line, out to the ends of the spectrum. Then sometimes we will find that the neutrinos lean more towards one end or the other of the spectrum. So that's when it'll have an arrow on it, a shadow or a light or a exaltation or a detriment, all depending on how you look at it. I'm trying to remove all possible traces of judgment from those so that people who have those down arrows don't feel like, oh, I got a shitty definition or something like that, because it's just exploring the thing, but especially looking at that other side of it. or don't get to feeling like they're better than anybody else because, say, in their chart they only have up arrows or something like that. Oh, I'm a better person. You can't put any kind of a judgment on that. It's just about how much of what end of the spectrum you get to feeling. So the shadow arrow for this one is the need for harmony, which makes it impossible to explore things and find the weakest point. So people who have this 15-6 in their charts are meant to be looking at things and finding the weak point. And it seems on the surface to be negative, but we can't make our weak points into strong points until we examine them. So we got to have people examining them. Our 15-6s are doing that exactly for us. So go out there and see if you meet a 15-6 today. You're much more likely to meet a 15-6 today than many other days because that energy is being supported in the transit. Mars shows up at 6-6 to bring about peace, to end conflict with sensitivity and reason. Boy, do we need more of that. So, okay, those were our people energies. Our global energies are in general the same, but in Uranus, the 20 line 1 gained a shadow, and I looked into it. I couldn't figure out how that works because I thought a whole entire, planet would define a shadow on that sort of thing. But when I looked it up, let me see if I can come back to it here and find out what that was. Yeah. The light is activated in Venus and the shadow by the moon. So I don't know how this is being calculated, if it's a mistake or if that's really something that happens when you get down into the lower planets. But anyway, it showed up that way, so let's see if you see it. 21, as you may remember, is shallowness, about the slogans. We were talking about the 4th of July with politics and blah, blah. The shadow part of it is the expression of the superficial personality, which has only slogans to offer and builds on shallow thoughts. Again, that sounds just like our maniac. All right, today, over the course of part of the day, we will be having a connection being made in the transit, and that connection will be from the 20th gate, which we are getting now in the transit from Uranus, this one we just talked about, and it will activate with the moon when the moon goes through 34, making the entire planet for a period of about 10 hours today all manifesting generators. So we will all feel that energy today of wanting to be busy, having the energy to get things done, and the desire to push things. So see if you feel that. And if you do, let me know. The moon, when it's done going through 34, will move through 9. That's the gate of the small taming power, and it is the gate of attention to detail on a different level. This is the real attention to detail gate up here, this one that I have unconsciously, so it's in orange. But the one in 9 is a different kind of detail. That's why they call it the small taming power, because it especially has something to do with animals. And the people who have activations in the 9th gate will find that they have connections with animals. They're very close to animals. Animals will come to them. They can tame animals. I've told you I play the game Ark, and there's an aspect of that where you can do passive taming, and it always reminds me the 9th gate of passive taming, walking around offering food to critters in hopes that they'll be your friend. So yeah. Let's see, and then when it's done with 9, it will move into 5, my nemesis. This gate of orderliness and ritual and neat and tidiness, which is of course a real challenge for me. Let's see. We have our song done. This and that. Okay, I think I've gone through all the details for today as we go through our cross of refinement. Oh, there was something else I could say about that, and that is about what Ra said about the cross of refinement. And he's talking about, we're ending up this quarter of civilization that has a lot to do with creating space for each of us, a space in which we can retreat, be ourselves, have our own territory. And then the next step, which is why refinement is next, is you got a box. Now you need to fill it up with pretty things. So refinement is about filling our boxes with pretty things. So you might want to take an opportunity while we're in this cross and looking at this is our mission, to look at your box and look at your things. Do they reflect the prettiness that you might want to have? Are they pretty enough for you? Are they refined enough? And if something needs to be refined in your environment, by all means, today's the day to be looking at that. So have fun with that. Take care of yourselves. Let me know if you have questions or comments. Again, always come see me at jollyalchemy.com. Until tomorrow, take care of yourselves. Bye.